What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Alright, so here's the situation we have for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a potentially big winter storm expected to impact parts of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and New England in the next couple of days. We're also going to be talking about some stuff that may be going on in California in the next few days, and we're just going to mainly be talking about that stuff because we have a lot to kind of talk about today. So here's the situation that we have right here. First, we're going to talk about potentially the stuff that's going on in New England over here, as we have winter storm warnings in effect for about 4 to 10 inches of snow, depending on the elevation. So we're going to have to pay attention to that. We still have very dense fog across much of Iowa, Illinois, parts of Wisconsin, Indiana, and we've also been seeing, because of all the snow that had fallen over the last couple of weeks in the Midwest, especially in Illinois, we saw a bunch of ice jams really cause some flooding across much of the Chicago area, across parts of Kankakee and the Illinois River. So we're going to have to pay attention to those as well. But in the meantime, here's what we have with the forecast models right here. Here's what we have going on. We're going to go ahead and start with the RAT model just to show you a short-term situation as to what we're potentially looking at. The RAT model has has a low pressure system currently right now over Mississippi, and it's expected to organize and develop further. And then as it gets colder, the further north it goes, it's going to start producing some snowfall, especially in the more mountainous area. It's expected to get particularly heavy in Pennsylvania, New York, and then into Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, as they could not only see snow accumulation, but freezing rain accumulation as well, as this thing exits the United States in the next 2 days or so. Total snow accumulations are going to vary quite a lot. We have, if we go ahead and zoom in for the Northeast, we're looking at areas in Pennsylvania anywhere from like 6 to 10 inches of snow, depending on if it's mountainous. Like Scranton and Willis Berks are going to be seeing quite a bit of snowfall from this. Same with upstate New York over here, as well as parts of Massachusetts over here, according to the RAT model. If we go ahead and show you the freezing rain accumulation, we're not seeing particularly that much. And the freezing rain that is going to be going on is going to be on that rain-snow line, so it doesn't look like it's going to be particularly that prevalent, I would say. So that's what we have going on with the RAT model of this. Next one we're showing you is the HER. The HER is a bit more detailed right here. If we can go ahead and show you that for every hour. It starts bringing very heavy snow to areas in Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Hell, even into New York City, you could definitely see a little bit of snow before it transitions to rain. And then you have Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine getting snow. The heaviest of it, thankfully, stays offshore, but if it moves just another 50 miles inland, parts of Maine could absolutely get clobbered by this. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on it. Total snow accumulation, once again, varies depending on if you're in the mountains or not. If we go ahead and show you the freezing rain accumulation, we could see some potential freezing rain in parts of Pennsylvania and New Jersey, outside of Scranton, and parts of northern New Jersey, where we could potentially see up to a good 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice over there. So we're going to have to pay very close attention to it as we continue to get the data and as we continue to get more information in. Next one we're showing you is the NAM. This is the 18Z. It's not fully out yet. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the 12Z over here just to give a better understanding of what we're looking at. Here's what we have going on. We have this thing really, the snow really starting to ramp up as we get into Sunday and Monday night right here. We're going to show what's going on. In fact, the NAM has much of New Jersey getting a lot of snow, and that rain-snow line staying off the coast of New York, off the coast of New England. So we're going to have to pay attention to that. Here's the total snow accumulation, though. Right here. In parts of upstate New York, you could definitely see up to a foot of snow of this. In parts of New England, including Massachusetts, and even into Boston, you could see up to 6 inches of snow from this. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on this as we continue to get more information. I say that like a broken record, but we're gonna. There is winter storm warnings out right now, and we still have another day or so before this starts to really impact parts of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and into New England over here. NAM Nest, similar situation, although it's a bit more detailed and it depends on where the mountainous areas are. The GEM RDPS is a bit more conservative with the total snow accumulation right here. If we go ahead and show you the precipitation type, let's go ahead and pull that up. as we continue to look at it. It's really bringing the rain snow line pretty much almost to Massachusetts over here, although definitely Boston's going to be seeing a lot of snow from this right here, particularly around 5 to 6 inches of snow according to the GEM RDPS right here. It is being a bit conservative, interestingly, compared to the short-range models. The GEM GDPS showing a similar situation. It's unfortunately zoomed out, so I can't really use that much to kind of look at it over here. This is the GEM GDPS with that system over there, and then it's bringing some more rain and snow to California as we continue to see that happen, and then another potential round of mountain snow as we continue to take a look at this, and that's what we have the GEM GDPS over here. Now we're going to go ahead and pull up the European, because the European has been pretty interesting to say at the very least. First, we're going to go ahead and pull up the 0Z Euro to kind of show you kind of what we're looking at. Here's what we have with precipitation. This system moves through. Unfortunately, we don't have rain, snow, or anything like that. I wish we did, but unfortunately we don't. If we go ahead and show you what we're looking at right here, for areas across much of Pennsylvania, especially the upstate New York, parts of western Massachusetts, Connecticut, we could see anywhere from 6 to 10 inches of snow according to what we're seeing with this. And even in parts of New Hampshire and Maine, we're seeing those totals over there. So we're going to have to pay attention to this. But then things get really interesting, and we're going to zoom out to show you what we're looking at. First of all, we have a system coming off into California that's going to be bringing some heavy rainfall as the atmospheric river continues to bring that stuff going on. And then things really start to go into overdrive as we go into next week. On February 3rd, according to the 0Z Euro, we have a mid-latitude cyclone really organizing and developing, and then bringing some heavy rain and heavy snowfall to the Carolinas, to Virginia, to Maryland, to Delaware, the Mid-Atlantic, all those areas. And by 240 hours out, this is where we're at right here. And the total snow accumulations, the Euro is going in overdrive right here, as it's calling for pretty much all of Virginia to get anywhere from 8 to 24 inches of snow, depending on elevation where you're at. Richmond is looking at 15 inches of snow, and even into North Carolina over here, like Winston-Salem, Greensboro, over a foot of snow, and even into Raleigh and around the Durham area, we're looking at potentially up to 6 to 10 inches of snow. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, no other model is showing this, and I'm kind of disregarding this for now because this is the only thing that's showing that. We're going to have to pay attention to it, and we're going to have to continue to monitor it. But at this current point in time, I don't see this scenario happening where areas in West Virginia, parts of Maryland, around PG County and Charles County, parts of Delaware, and especially down into North Carolina, where in the Piedmont, where it's calling for Charlotte to get 6 inches of snow. Yeah, unless we see a massive shift in the massive shift in the models in the next few days, I'm not seeing this situation playing out. However, if we go ahead and show you the 12Z run, it is showing something interesting as well. Because if we go ahead and show you the precip right here for the Mid-Atlantic, as the time continues to come on, it's really bringing a lot of heavy rain and heavy snowfall to the coast of the Carolinas right here, and then just crashing into New England and into Pennsylvania right here, where it's bringing total snow accumulations. If we go ahead and show you this is from the first system. The second system really goes into overdrive for much of Pennsylvania, for much of Ohio over here, for much of even into Indiana and Michigan. It's calling for Detroit to get about 7.5, 8.5 inches of snow, and 1 foot plus from West Virginia to upstate New York, with 2 feet of snow possible across the area. And into the coast of the Carolinas, we're looking at anywhere from 7 inches of snow in northeastern North Carolina, potentially down to 4 inches of snow in Wilmington, and then about another 5 in Myrtle Beach, in those areas right there. Again, I'm going to be honest, none of these other models are showing that. Not even the GFS is showing a situation like this. Now, this would be a scenario that the GFS would probably just splurge out. But considering that's the Euro and not the GFS, I think it's kind of interesting. But again, I'm not particularly trusting it because, A, this is 180 plus hours out. This is a whole week away from stuff. We're not really anywhere close to that yet. And B, none of the other models are showing that. Now, if the GFS was showing it with the Euro, I would be okay. Things are going to get a little interesting. And then if the GEM GDPS was also showing that, I'd be like, okay, this may be one model, but then all three of these are doing it, like it was earlier this month. But at this current point in time, I'm not particularly seeing this, but we will pay attention to it, as this does, if it does verify, look like a potentially serious threat to a lot, like tens of millions of people, pretty much from Michigan all the way to Delaware and up to New England, could be impacted by this. Now we're going to go ahead and lastly round out with the GFS to kind of see what we're looking at right here. First off, we have this system really ramping through and marching through Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and New England over here. Total snow accumulation is showing anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow across the region over there, so we'll still pay attention to it for you guys. We're not sure how much of a threat it's going to be. And then we see another atmospheric river system move through California. There's been a lot of flooding over there recently, so we're going to have to monitor that. And then you have stuff really starting to ramp up again, but it's not going to be particularly that heavy. And then around the February 11th, February 12th, it does show a little bit of stuff, but to be honest, it's so far out, we're going to have to kind of disregard that for just a second. But in the meantime, we will keep you updated on all the stuff that we have coming up with the models, with the computer data that we're getting, and we have another few things that we need to kind of talk about before we end the video over here. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is I put out a community poll yesterday about documentaries. Please be sure you go ahead and go vote for that. It would be much appreciated, because we're going to be starting to make these documentaries for next week. Tomorrow we're making our, this is the second announcement, kind of segues into that. Tomorrow we're going to be making our preliminary Super Bowl forecast to see who's going to be getting weather, see who's not going to be getting weather, and who's going to be watching it, who's not going to be watching it in case there's a snowstorm or anything like that. We know that the Super Bowl is going to be in San Francisco this year, so it's going to be kind of exciting how the NFC and AFC games kind of play out. I'm really hoping the Detroit Lions make it through against the 49ers. They haven't won a championship yet. I think it would be pretty fun for them to do it. But with that being said, we're going to close the video out right here. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out, helps us make more videos like these. The goal of this channel, as always, is to get more people engaged with weather. And if you want to come see the behind the scenes of these videos, or you want to ask us some questions, or just hang out and chill with the Storms United team, be sure to join the Storms United Discord server. The link to that, as always, is going to be right over there. We're going to be having a pretty exciting week coming up when it comes to content. There might not be as much weather going on, but we will be making documentaries. It's going to be pretty exciting to get back into the groove of that. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day, guys. Stay safe.